Scottish gangster Christopher Hutcheson, who had aspirations and desired to be likened to Michael Corleone from The Godfather. He is currently serving a life sentence, with a minimum term set at 23 years, which is lenient, for a barbaric and heinous execution of 23-year-old Daniel Hutcheson. Now, these two men share the same last name because they were cousins. Now, while being housed in Shotts Prison in Lanarkshire, it was said that Christopher was not using his time to rehabilitate himself, nor reflect on his actions, or the fact that he, in effect, had destroyed his whole family. So peed off was Christopher that his own pal Andrew Ferguson took the stand against him and pointed out that Christopher had killed his cousin, and went into graphic detail to paint a horrible picture. Andrew Ferguson was classed as an unwilling sidekick to dealer and gangster and crime boss Christopher Hutcheson. So unhinged was Christopher that he ordered Andrew to call Chris's cousin Daniel and arrange a meet-up. When the three men met up, Christopher was said to have used his hulking frame to overpower Daniel and then wrap his hands and arm around the neck area, squeezing. Then Christopher used a rope. This continued until Daniel went limp. Now he was an ex-soldier. His pulse was now non-existent. Andrew Ferguson was then told to pay attention and keep watching. Christopher then ordered Andrew Ferguson to take away parts, and that would be head. Now the reason was said to be over unpaid drug debts, only worth a few £100s, and remember, this was his own cousin. And at the time of the incident, Andrew Ferguson was only 19 years old, and Christopher was only 23 years old. So dismayed that Christopher's sidekick had become a grass and then put himself into protection while being housed at a separate jail, being Greenock, and for good reason. There had already been an alleged attempt on Andrew Ferguson life, and this was ordered by Christopher previously, despite the two men being in separate jails. Now he had allegedly offered drugs to anyone that could kill Andrew. Now Andrew had been bladed on the wing back in 2013. Now Christopher is said now to have offered a payment of £4,000 in cash to anybody that can reach Andrew Ferguson and take him out. This is a bona fide hit, or they can take the payment in Class A or Class B. And it's further been alleged that if no one reaches Andrew Ferguson in the jail, then Christopher Hutcheson is willing to bide his time, and he will just wait until Andrew Ferguson is allowed on day leave. The Scottish gangster Christopher Hutcheson is the very definition of unhinged. And bear in mind, he was jailed for killing two people, one being his cousin Daniel Ferguson, and the second victim was a homeless man. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.